We are back. We are back. Episode 2, Big Fish, Little Pond. We, of course, are the big fish. Mr. Daniel Lewis and Dr. Michael Allen here in this little pond of ours. Hopefully, you'll join us soon, and we'll see if you can go swimming. All right. So, as always, sir, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. What's on your mind right now? Anything percolating right now in your mind?
As we say in the military, hoorah.
Hoorah, hoorah. Now, since this is our second episode, I figured we could probably go ahead and do 2 different wines, right? And here's the thing. Some people get it twisted. Some people think they're the same, but they are actually very, very different. Now, I could get into the details, but I don't know enough. My doctorates are not in wine or anything of this nature. I'm just here to enjoy all this goodness. And I'm going to let the doctor of wine talk about these 2 wines that we're getting ready to enjoy.
All right, so get started up. So the first wine, you can go ahead and grab the bottle. It's going to be we call this
Purple Passion.
Purple Passion. Now what this is, it's a Muscadine. And it's a staple of the South. Now, a lot of people know about Muscadine wine because they either grew up with it, because they family made it, or their grandparents made it.
Okay.
And it is a staple of the South. So, Muscadine, either you have had it, or you grew up drinking it from the family, or you know about it. So, and the thing about Muscadine, reason it's so popular, because it was free. People could just go out in the woods and just pick it. It was free. And they made wine out of it.
Free as
because, back in the days, money was tight. So if you go out and pick fruit and make free wine, hey, that's money you ain't got to spend to buy that. So Muscadine is very popular in the South. So we started saying, when in Rome, do as the Roman. When in the South, do as the Southern. So we made a Muscadine wine. And when we made this Muscadine wine, we didn't realize how popular Muscadine wine was until we ran out. And people would not come to the winery because we didn't have any Muscadine wine. And I'm like, hold up, we got 10 other wines, but you don't have no Muscadine. So it was like, what?
Right.
So we made Muscadine, and we made a lot of it. And people come, and they just love it. And what's I get the most gratification out of is when I get an older person, a grandparent, or a great-grandparent, and come and try our Muscadine wine and go, wow, it's just like I used to make it, but it's better.
But better.
I love it.
Damn.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that's our Muscadine Purple Passion. All right.
Now, before we drink it, right, because I don't know if you guys have seen the first episode yet, but if you haven't, go back and check that out. And while you're there, go ahead, and while you're here, go ahead and subscribe. I'm waiting. Did you do it? Subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know down below what are the next wines you want us to feature on here as well. And, give us that like, too. I know you're going to love it, but at least you can give us a like. Now, again, if they haven't tuned into episode 1, Daniel, tell me, how am I supposed to taste this? Can I just gulp it down?
No.
Okay. Don't gulp.
That's not credible to wine.
All right. That'd be uncouth.
So, the ladies, they throw their pinky finger up. They get bougie with it. Now, that has nothing to do with the flavor, the taste of the wine, but that's just something they do. Now, what I recommend is you swirl it in the glass. Do a little swerve. And what that does is mix up the fruit, the flavor, activate it.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So you get your visual part of your senses. Second thing is smell. Smell it. You can smell the fruit and the flavor.
Bold. That's real bold.
Right. And the third and the most important thing is to taste it. Now, when you taste it, there's an art to that. You take it, swerve it around in your mouth for a couple of seconds, then drink it. So what you're doing, you let your taste bud send a message to your brain and say, wow, this is pretty good. So That's the proper way of doing it. And this is one of our bolder wine, the Muscadine. It's very bold.
Yeah. So now I coated my tongue. So now my brain and my tongue are in sync.
Right.
Now I'm ready for my next sip. And now I can probably taste even more, right?
Right. So this is our Muscadine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people say that's not from the South. What is a Muscadine? Well, Muscadine is a big, thick-skinned grape, black or deep purple
How big?
grape,
About
thick skin, by the size of a quarter,
quarter.
that grows on trees in the woods. Has a very distinct flavor and taste. All right. Now, that's the Muscadine. And that's another wine called Scuppernong.
Mm.
And people think they are the same, which they're not. They're different. And I call it brothers and sisters. The Muscadine is the big brother. The Scuppernong is the sister.
Mm.
Now, when it comes to wine making, one is red and one is white. Muscadine is red, Scuppernong is white when it comes to wine. So most guys like the Muscadine,
Right.
because it's big and bold.
That
Most
musk.
women like the Scuppernong because it's a sweeter and more settled taste.
Got you.
So we're going to talk about the Scuppernong later. So this is the Muscadine, the big brother.
Mm. Now, that is so good that I want to go online and get some. Is that possible to do? Can I go online and get it from you guys?
Of course you can. You can go to the website and you can order it, and we ship to 42 different states. So you go to the website, order minimum 4 bottles at a time, and you can go from 4 to 12, which is the case, and we ship it to you, and UPS will bring it right to you, right to your door. That easy.
Now, I know we covered Perfect Peach in the first episode, and we got another great wine here as well. The Muscadine, we've got, a couple more coming up. Now, if I order a case, can I mix and match however many bottles I want of each?
Of course.
Okay.
You can mix and match 2 of these, 3 of these, 1 of those, 4 of those, however you desire.
Okay, that's great. Or I can just get a whole case of it.
Whatever you desire.
Hey, that works.
We aim to please.
Hey, that works for me. Again, this is incredible. This flavor, I never really had a taste profile like this. It's bold, it's fruity, it's tasty, and the fact that you have the old school folks coming in saying, "Yeah, I used to make this, but you make it better." Wow,
That's a big time compliment.
I mean, it don't get much better than that. Jeez. Now, as a reminder to all of you, you can go out there and do tastings. Typically you'll get 10 tastings. They got 32 different flavors of wine. So go check them out. Again, online. Hopefully you can stop by in person and see this man, because he will actually give you a tour and walk you through all the processes that they do to make this wine. So that's a good key point to remember. Now, sir, before we get into the next one, I want to hit you with a question here, because again, we're all about life's journeys, retired military, Army retired, Air Force retired, and now we own multiple small businesses, and we're doing okay in life. And we're doing this as per your request. Again, Big Fish, Little Pond, check us out. You're checking us out, just make sure you subscribe. Now, my question for you is, and this is a big one. You ready? What military habit do you credit most for all of your success as far as being an entrepreneur? What is that habit?
It's a lot of habits. But I would say one of the biggest one is never giving up. Failure is not an option. Because in life, you're going to have some challenges. You're going to have some ups and some downs. And how you prepare yourself for that, or how you receive that, will make you or break you.
Sure.
So the military, as we say, Army strong, teaches you how to deal with adversity. And, it just makes you a better person. Because there's going to be struggle in life, period. and definitely struggle in business. So you have to be disciplined, you have to be patient, and good things will come to those who meet those criteria.
Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, you actually whetted my appetite a bit more because I really want to sink into this question. I want to sink my teeth into it, right? And I agree. I concur with everything that you said right there. But you know, can you give us an example of that? You know, on how you never gave up, like something that you essentially failed at, but you just kept going, kept grinding. You know, as far as succeeding as an entrepreneur, is there? I'm sure there's many moments, but what comes to mind that you were just like, you know what, I am going to succeed. I don't know how to fail. Can you give us a specific, tangible example of that we can really sink our teeth into?
Well, I have many failure and success stories, but I would say the most challenging one was the winery, the wine business. Now you have to think when we did this business, first of all, we're the first minority owned business in the whole South.
Mm-hmm.
That's Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, and Louisiana. Now, and we're the first wine business in Montgomery. So at first I thought, okay, this is going to be very, very successful because we're the first one. We're the only one in the city.
Right.
So, hey, people want wine, where they going to come?
You would think.
But I didn't know the challenges of being the first one was a whole lot of red tape.
Mm.
So when it came down to it, I mean, first of all, it was the finance part.
Mm. Well, yeah.
Now we have, not bragging or anything, but we have $1 million house.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank that financed the $1 million house wouldn't finance the $1 million winery.
Mm.
And I didn't understand that because we paid for the $1 million house. And it's not like we owed on the $1 million house
Right.
and then want to do a $1 million winery.
Should be an
the
asset.
$1 million house was paid for.
Right, and that should offset the loan on the
So
other.
you should say, okay, credit history, you paid that $1 million, you can pay this $1 million.
Right.
2 plus 2 don't add up when it comes to math in the South.
Right.
Math in the South, though, it's not the same from minority to different other people,
I got
should I
you.
say.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't finance us. So me and my wife had a talk saying, okay, if they won't finance us because they don't believe in us, we will finance us because we believe in us. So we financed ourselves. And you said, well, how you finance yourself? Because we had $1 million house. So we could borrow from our house.
Right.
And did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did. And after we did all that, we put this $1 million building up, went through all the business licensing and everything to do it, every checklist. The county commissioner says, okay. ABC board said, okay. Fire department said, okay. The sheriff department said, okay. The health department said, okay. And everything was good. Now, when we actually got ready to get the license, they was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a business, a winery in this suburban area.
Mm.
And it was like, hold up. When we started all this, you'd have no problem with it.
Mm.
We paid all our money. There was no problem. Now, there's a problem. So, long story short, we had to go to court.
Right.
So, and they waited till we had used all our savings, all our resource, and put it in this building that we can't use.
Mm.
So, had to go to court. We drove back and forth, passing the winery day after day. They couldn't do nothing with it. It was just a building.
Right.
So, did we want to give up? Yeah. Did we want to quit? Yeah. Did we want to do some other strange stuff? Yeah.
Right.
But the military said, hey, at first you don't succeed, try again.
Mm-hmm.
Failure is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go on the biblical side. God didn't bring us this far to fail.
Right.
So with all that said and done, we had to fight. Just like the military taught us to fight.
Mm-hmm.
We fight.
Right.
And at the end of the battle, there was success.
Right.
So we finally got our license to open up from the ABC board. And we thought, okay, well, that's the end of it. It was the end of it. Mm. Then we had protesters from the community saying, we don't want it and all this stuff. It's going to raise crime. And
a winery.
Yeah. It's going to be drunken drivers tearing up the neighborhood community.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that makes
it's
no
not
sense.
A bar.
No.
It's not a club.
Right.
It's a winery.
Right.
Wine drinkers don't do that. Different kind of people. So we had to go through all those challenges and everything. And we went through all that adversity. And the military taught us, my wife was in the Navy, I was in the Army, that you don't give up.
No.
Military training, fight. And we fought. Mm-hmm. And we won. And, there was a building process from a few customers to a few more customers, a little more customers. We had days that we made less than $100 a whole day.
Right.
And we didn't give up because we knew it was going to get better.
Right.
And get better.
Right.
And the great thing about doing it on our own dime is we wasn't in debt to nobody. So if we made $100, that was $100.
That's right.
Nobody cracking a whip and say, hey, you need to make more. You're behind. The mortgage got to be paid. Mm-hmm. The rent got to be paid. The bills got to be paid.
Right.
It was none of that.
Right.
So went from $100 days to $500 days to $1,000 days to $2,000 days to $5,000 days. Mm-hmm. And we're right there around that $5,000 weekend,
Right.
And knock on wood.
Yeah.
After 4 years, the winery paid for itself.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
So, are we doing something right? I think so.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, we just hit our 7-year anniversary.
Hey.
And we'd had over 100,000 people come out.
Nice.
In 7 years.
That's incredible.
And that's during COVID part too.
Right.
So
we're
proud of that.
Yeah, that's.
In fact, we need to drink to that.
Yeah, we absolutely will, and we're getting ready to get into the second bottle to drink to that. But I really want to take about 30 seconds to hit on some key points that he said right there, some highlights, right? Especially from a financial standpoint, and he keyed in on that a few times. Is once you have assets turn into equity. Equity turns into you are the bank. You are your own bank. You don't have to go to a bank when you are the bank, and you can borrow against yourself. And there's another thing out there, right? The crab mentality. It applies to everybody, all ages, all demographic, all races, all cultures. They want to see you doing good, but not better than them. So don't ever give up, just like he said. And don't give up on us. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Go ahead. Now, let's get into this next wine, which you started off saying it's kind of like the little sister, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pour it, and tell me a little bit more about it while I pour. Golden Lady.
I have some of that too as well.
Okay.
While you pour it.
Absolutely.
So the Golden Lady is, like I said, it's the little sister to the Muscadine, which is the Purple Passion. Like I said, Muscadine and Scuppernong, they grow in the woods wildly. So the Scuppernong, when it comes to wine, is a white wine. Muscadine is a red wine. Now, Muscadine is the bolder one. Scuppernong is the lighter, sweeter one. So most women like the Scuppernong, most men like the Muscadine. All right. Now, with that being said, when it comes to the grapes, the name of the grapes is Carlos and Noble. Carlos is the Scuppernong, Noble is the Muscadine, and that's the authentic name of the grape. So they both grows in the woods. They both was free. Our ancestor picked them and made wine because it was free, and they grew up with it and they love it. And we just thankful that we was able to take it and perfect it to be what it is now.
Got you. Okay.
So back to what we was looking for, the senses, which is the sight first. You can look at it, see it's clear and refreshing.
Yeah.
The nose, you can smell it and smell that it smell like a fruit.
Man, that's good.
And the most important one is the taste. And you can taste the sweeter, lighter taste compared to the big brother. So that's the difference between Muscadine and Scuppernong.
Yep.
Carlos and Noble, red and white.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely see kind of more of a feminine quality in this wine. Now, I honestly, it's really close. I'm not sure which one I feel like I would like them both equally depending on my mood. You know what I mean? Um, this one's sweeter. The first one's a little bit more bold. But if I'm not mistaken, despite the fact that one's more bold and one's more sweet, they're both the same alcohol content, aren't they?
They both have 12% alcohol.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people think Muscadine and Scuppernong was the same fruit, but it's not. It's two different fruits. Like I said, it's two different wines. So
Wow.
we're just thankful that we was able to perfect it to be what it is today and show people theirs are different and that it's a separate fruit.
Wow.
Some people used to think Scuppernong was a white Muscadine.
Now, that's a good point. I want to go back to what you just said about perfecting something because that aligns with this wine and with this next question I got for you. And I think I might already know the answer because I think you might have answered it in our first episode when we talked about the process of making this. And I want to ask you, tell us about a time, all of us, you guys included, that you had to impose discipline on yourself when no one was watching. And my heart tells me that in this process of making this wine and making sure that it tastes like it's how it's supposed to taste, that you guys didn't cut corners and made sure that you had everything in here so it came out tasting right. Am
Exactly.
I right?
So with that process, each batch of wine, we call a batch of wine, and we have a 15-gallon demijohn that makes 15 gallons of wine.
Wow.
And then we call that a batch. Each one of those is called a batch, which is like this is called a bottle because it's a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Each batch has 65 bottles, makes 65 bottles of wine. So we started off with the fruit.
Okay.
Now, when we started, we had no idea how many pounds of fruit it takes to make the wine. So we started off with 10 pounds of fruit. And it was a little watered down. Well, actually, it was a lot watered down.
Yeah.
Then we tried 20 pounds. It was a little better, but it's still watered down. We tried 30 pounds. It was getting better. We tried 40, and then we got to 50 pounds. 50 pounds was like, this is the bomb.
Right.
And then we didn't know what the bomb was, so we tried 60 pounds. It didn't get any better. So we know the sweet spot was 50 pounds.
Right.
So we used 50 pounds of fruit to make 15 gallons of wine. So that's a lot of fruit.
That's a lot.
And when we was making it, people coming out there going, wow, just buying it and just loving it. And we thought, after years and years, well, maybe we don't need to use 50 pounds. Maybe we can cut it down to 40 pounds. And we was like, you know what? 50 pounds what got us there, 50 pounds what we need to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep us there.
Right.
Because people has a memory of what things taste like.
Mm-hmm.
So if you change the process, they come out and go, you must did something different. It tastes different than it did before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when they say that, now the difference is y'all must have did something to this because it tastes better than it did before.
I'm guilty. I've said that to them many times.
So we always is refining the process to make it better. We challenge ourselves to make it better.
Right.
Because we don't want to just say, okay, we're good and leave it alone.
Yeah, it's the same ingredients, the same quantities, but you're tweaking the process.
Exactly. Right. Did we leave it in longer? Do we need to let it stay longer? Mm-hmm. And most time, tweaking the process, not changing the fruit, it's the time. As the old saying say, wine get better with time. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can't rush the process. It's just like, think of it as a fruit. When the fruit is on a tree, if it's not ripe and you pull it, it don't taste the same as it does if it's ripe.
Right.
So we want the time, the process to be right. Mm-hmm. And that's why we age it to that process. And that's redefining the process.
God damn, this is good. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So this is incredible. Again, guys, check them out online. Again, they ship to 42 different states. And Daniel, I got one last question before we wrap this up because I could probably drink you dry if we keep going.
If you do, we will make more.
Hey, that's right. And if it's good, they will come, and they do come. That's for sure. We got a lot of people that talk to us, and I know we mentor people of all different ages. Some people are thinking, even 30s and 40s, they're thinking about going into the military. Some younger than that, obviously in high school, junior ROTC, in college, ROTC programs. And sometimes, even though they're in those programs, or they might not even know because they haven't been in any of those types of programs, the discipline, which is what we've been talking about, discipline in this process, discipline in life in general, just discipline to make things better and never give up, having that type of discipline. But sometimes that type of military discipline scares civilians off from wanting to join the military. Now, my question to you is, what would you say to those people to help encourage them that, hey, look, it's not all bad, as far as discipline, and that really shouldn't scare you away from the military if they were thinking about joining?
Well, I always tell people, the military is a great place to start. I think everybody growing up, it's just like, I think of it as education. You go through grade school, then you go to junior high. You go to high school, then you go to college. College is a great place, but it's not for everybody. So what's the alternative to not going to college? What's the military is a great place because it teaches you value. It teaches you skills. It teaches you discipline.
Right.
Things that are going to help you in your next chapter of life. Mm-hmm. And for me, with business and dealing with people, it taught me how to deal with different personalities, different attitudes, different cultures. It taught me values, how to communicate with people, and how to be a better version of me. So that's what I would say about the military. And discipline is not a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, it really sounds like, for people that think, metaphorically, all those little pieces that you described right there are like pieces of puzzles to your life, essentially. and helping you figure out what those pieces of that puzzle are. And it's going to fit together differently for everybody, but at least understanding, hey, these are some of the pieces of the puzzle that once you put them together, figure out how it fits best for you, you're going to be way more successful in life. Yeah. No, I dig that, man. No, I appreciate that. Um, Now, getting ready to wrap up. Anything you want to leave them with before I kind of head on out?
Of course, I want to say, a dream is a dream. Reality is a little different than a dream. In order to be successful in reality, you got to have finances. Finance is not a dirty word. Finance is a must have. So I always tell people, if you try to get financially uh, straight or financial success in finance, you need to surround yourself by or with a financial person that can help you get there. And everybody talks about banks and loaning place, but those people, they just loan you money if you qualify. So you have to get to a point where you qualify. So I would suggest getting with a person like Dr. Michael here, that a financial wizard, that look at your lifestyle. If you want to get a person that to help you be rich and he's not rich, that's kind of oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to help you get with a person that to build value and wealth in life, look at the lifestyle. If they living in the hood or the project, they're not the one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the car they drive. Look at the type of lifestyle they live. Look at the home they're living in. Eye sharpen eye. If you want to be like Mike, you got to be with Mike.
Yeah. No,
And this Mike here will help you get where you want to go in life.
no, man, I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. We'll drop one last nugget here. You are the average of the 5 people that you keep around yourself in your closest proximity. So remember that. I know sometimes it's hard to cut off people, but you got to realize who those 5 people are, and more importantly, what you want to be, right? And what we want you to be is a big fish in this little pond of ours. So come on, come swimming with us. Pour yourself a glass, have a toast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down there. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want us to talk about and cover on the next episodes, and what other wines are out there that you want to be featured. We're definitely going to feature some more, but let us know in the comments. And if you really want to know what wines are out there, go check them out online. You can go ahead and order some wine too while you're at it, because all this shit tastes great. And to that, good sir, we are out.
Salute.